This is the city of Wuxi. It lies in the upper circle of China's most economically dynamic area, the Yangtze River Delta. For over thousands of years, the nourishment of Tai Lake has helped the city earn its name, the land of rice and fish. However, an outbreak of blue and green algae in 2007 plagued the lake and caused one of the nation's most serious water pollution problems. 4 years have passed, so what has the city become today? Can the city of Wuxi restore its unique attractiveness and reshape itself into a sustainable development? Let's find out in this edition of China Untapped.
Cheers.
Cheers. The city of Wuxi lies in the southern part of eastern Jiangsu province. It is one of the pillar cities of the Yangtze River Delta economic zone, which is widely considered to be the most dynamic and thriving area of China. Historically, Wuxi was dubbed Little Shanghai because of its close proximity to the city and its leading position in forming the nation's modern commerce in the early 20th century. The Grand Canal that links Hangzhou and Zhejiang province to Beijing runs through the city, and the nourishment of China's third largest freshwater lake, Tai Lake, helped it earn the name the land of rice and fish. Right now, Wuxi is the second largest city in eastern Jiangsu province in terms of its economic influence, and the beauty of the lake attracts thousands of visitors to Wuxi every year. This is one of many mornings Mr. Jiang and his wife will go to Tai Lake to fish. They were born fishermen and have been fishing as a way of life for over 30 years.
现在今天下的是中100多米吧，真的下要几千米的，这个都是啊，这块都是哦。
Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, there is another group of people heading to the lake every morning. They are environment technicians from the Environmental Protection Bureau.
今天几个点？今天有4个点。4个点，好的。
Wai Ke and his colleagues cruise around the lake on a daily basis to collect water samples from Tai Lake. To both fishermen, Mr. Jiang, and the environment technician Xiao Wei, Tai Lake is more than a place of work. They say in order to know the city of Wuxi, you need to know Tai Lake, or Tai Hu as it's known as, which you can see next to me. Located in the southern part of the Yangtze River Delta, Tai Lake is the third largest freshwater lake in China, after the Poyang and Dongting lakes. Its waters cover a surface area of about 360,000 square kilometers, and it provides fresh water to over 34 million people. Although Tai Lake's water area covers 0.4% of the nation's land, it actually contributes to 1/8 of the nation's GDP. Some of its important tributes include Shanghai's Huangpu River and Suzhou Creek. A huge outbreak of blue-green algae plagued the lake in the summer of 2007 due to the city's uncontrollable output of industrial, chemical and household waste. What's worse is that the algae polluted Wuxi's water supply plants, which resulted in a water crisis. But now touring the lake, we can hardly spot any blue-green algae. After more than 3 years of treatment, Tai Lake of Wuxi has turned over a new leaf. And in fact, driving or walking along its shore has returned to be a beautiful leisure activity. You know, it's commonly thought that the real culprits for the 2007 pollution of Tai Lake, I'm referring to the big algal bloom, was due to the industries and factories lining the river. Therefore, the government decided to shut them down, and you can see evidence of that here. It's beautiful, actually, the reconstruction. They've put trees lining all of the roads, and they've got some really picturesque and scenic residential homes as well. I wonder what has been done to put the magic back in Tai Lake that was there before 2007. What are the specific measures that have been taken to ensure a clean outcome? To get the answers, I had an interview with Mr. Liu Yamin, the director of Wuxi Municipal Environmental Protection Bureau.
Hello, Lindsay. I show you. This is Wuli Lake. 这个五里湖呢，过去是我们无锡一个内太湖。在无锡呢，它是一个水网地区，水对于无锡来讲是非常重要，它跟我们老百姓的利益都是息息相关的。一方面就要立足于现实，控源节污，把所有的污水能够减少它的排放，同时控制落湖。另一方面，更重要的呢，就是还是要进行经济发展的转型，进行结构的调整。所以这几年我们淘汰了1607家企业。关闭。那么同时呢，我们大力的发展一些新兴产业，这样从根本上减少污染的产生。
The restoration of Tai Lake's beauty, as well as the 7 scenic parks along the lake that are open to the public free of charge, attract Wushi's residents and visitors daily. Every morning, under the warm sunshine, you can easily spot locals exercising around the lake while enjoying its picturesque view. After about a 40-minute ride by boat, the environment technicians arrive at the first spot for water collection. Wei Ke has been doing this job for over 10 years, and his team always spends around 3 to 4 hours touring 4 different spots in the lake for the water samples.
啊，小郭，让我一下。还是有点吵，你需要过滤一下。啊，是有点热。我这边还不高，和刚才那个浮标镇差不多。300多。嗯，对，颗粒物还是有一点。这样行吗？水温14.1，pH 8.23，溶解氧9.77。 我大学毕业的时候，然后我们无锡市环保局它要招收一些有关生物专业方面的人。那一开始做的时候呢，也没有什么特别明确的方向。然后后来做着做着就觉得自己有一份责任，因为我自己本身是无锡人，又是在太湖边上长大的，所以做着做着就对那个太湖的生态啊，还有生物啊各方面的东西就越来越感兴趣。 于是就慢慢就进去了，就是。
The data collected in this spot will be recorded on the boat immediately, and the water samples will later be sent back to the laboratory for a more thorough inspection. To complement human efforts, high technologies are also in place to supervise the lake non-stop.
这个呢，就是我们警员的一个蓝藻视频监控，它是一个全球影的一个系统，观测蓝藻以后，它是个可以变焦的一个镜头，救援可以看到3公里。3公里啊，就是，然后它是360度，对对，可以360度。
Altogether, there are 13 video cameras installed along Tai Lake. The GPS systems inside will allow technicians to inspect the lake on their mobile phones and PCs 24/7. Meanwhile, the sensors inside the lake will transmit the organism data back to the computer systems to analyse, all of which provides important first-hand information to the environmental technicians. active fishermen like Mr. Jiang, whose way of living depends so strongly on the lake. The change is even more evident.
来潮爆发的时候，我打了来潮的，不杀鱼的那个时候。我兄弟几个、姐妹几个都是打鱼的，现在是基本上我只有兄弟2个打鱼的，其他的都先上岸了。这个太湖里面以前那个来潮爆发之前的这个太湖里面不行，这个打鱼菜量什么不高，那么慢慢的自己想办法，其他找岩石的岩石啊，搞岩石的，大概嘛有的嘛上岸到厂里面去。那么我呢，原来是慢慢的坚持下来的，坚持下来到现在呢，也可以了。现在我是一门心思要想炸鱼了。
Coming up next, I will take you to meet my friend Tim Dando. Is it quite good exercise?
Yes, very good exercise. Very good for the legs.
And as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. We will check out why expats are attracted by the glamour of Wuxi. Okay, so everybody, dinner served.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers.
On the other side of the lake, across from the city, there is a body of water called Baichu River. It's one of the rivers that connects Tai Lake in the south to the Yangtze River in the north. Although the total length of the river is only 6 kilometers, the river now has its own master to look after it.
应该这样说，我们这条河呢，整个你看河面45米宽，但是呢，我们这个河啊，现在水质都很好，而且有野鸭、有野鸟，还有白鹭。 所以说，在那个整个这个河面上来讲呢，就是说水质的变好，就是野生动物的就是完全都出来了。
To mark clear responsibilities for each river that runs into Tai Lake, the Wuxi government initiated the River Master system across the city, which started in January 2008. So far, 1,284 river masters have been appointed. All of them are top officials in each district. The River Master system truly illustrates the Wuxi government's strong resolution to appoint officials to protect the environment. If something is wrong with the water, the government will always know which river master to contact.
我这个河长呢，虽说是很小，我这个条河总的长是6公里，整个河面是2.7万平方米。但是在我们全无锡，一共是有1000多个河长，这1000多个河长每条河都是连着我们太湖，我们太湖36000顷，所以说我们每条河的水质好坏，都实际关系到我们太湖的水质好坏。
太湖水的这个是现在是很好的，但是呢，生活上各方面都这个水好了以后呢，是比较好的。以前呢，我们吃的屎啊，什么东西啊，都是不行的。这个是叫中鱼了，不算大也不算小。这个是金鱼，这个鱼价格挺贵的。 一天好的时候呢，400、500斤，那么没有起来呢也不多的。这个天气的，天气又冷又多，天气不冷呢就不行，就这样。今天呢天气太热了，
提起来，对，鲤鱼。
Hi. Hi, I was quite mesmerised watching you two do your Tai Chi there. I've never seen a foreigner who's so good at it.
Thank you.
It looks great. Is it quite good exercise?
Yes, very good exercise. Very good for the legs.
So you're feeling it in the legs now?
Feeling a bit of a burn here, yeah.
So where are you from? It sounds like you're from England.
I am, yes. I'm from Hereford, just south of Birmingham.
Ah, great. Tim Dando has been living in Wuxi for 5 years now. Like many foreigners in China, Tim has been teaching English in various cities around the nation. What ultimately convinced him to settle down in Wuxi, however, is the blend it offers of both Chinese and Western elements and lifestyles. So you've been here 5 years, that's quite amazing. What made you come here and do you like it here?
I really like living in Wuxi. It's a very developed city, which means that you have the sort of Western luxuries that you get back at home. But you also have the element of China, which is the reason why I originally came here, was to come and study Chinese and take part in Chinese culture, study Kung Fu and Tai Chi like you just saw.
Yeah. So you mentioned you study Chinese. Do you use that for work?
Yes, I do, yes. When I first came out here, I realised that Wuxi was developing very quickly, as was China. And as a foreigner, if you could speak Chinese, there was a lot of opportunity here for you. And now I work for a magazine company using Chinese in my daily work schedule to interview and to talk to colleagues.
So could I come along to one of your meetings just to see what, you know, a day in the life of Tim is like?
Of course you can, no worries.
Perfect,
Okay.
thanks. To Tim, the city has too much to be discovered. Instead of merely introducing the surface culture in his magazine, Tim really wants to explore people's daily life at a deeper level, to find out about where their passions lie, for instance. By uncovering these deeper cultural nuances and values, Tim has taken advantage of the valuable opportunity to live like a local.
I'm going to meet a famous artist called Mr. Chun, and I'm going to interview him for the magazine about how Wuxi has developed over the last 30 years or so.
Okay, great.
Okay, so if you'd like to...
So this is his studio?
This is his studio, yes. Okay, Mr. Chen, ni hao.
Hi, ni hao. Hi, Lindsay. Ni hao.
Yeah, Zhang Zhang, ni hao. Ni hao, ni hao.
Chen Hao is a painter from Wuxi. He's been painting Wuxi's landscapes and its people from a very young age, which has allowed him to develop a unique sensibility towards the city. Tim is currently doing a feature story on him in his magazine and is delighted to learn some local anecdotes that he otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to know.
无锡的发达实际上面跟这条运河是非常有关系，因为说那个京杭大运河唯一的走了这么多城市，就是在无锡的市中心走的，所以这条河的话，给无锡带来了很多这种商机跟它的生机。
所以那些照片我们可以看看。
Yeah.
可以。好，我跟。
Okay.
Some photos
of Wuxi 30 years ago.
Ah, okay.
这是老无锡的那戏。
This is old
河桥，对，河桥。
To do with bridges.
看一戏无锡很热闹的一戏场景，你看。
You can see Wuxi used to be very lively.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people.
因为无锡当时的时候，它有很多的这些河，那些船码头都是在那个地方。
So originally Wuxi had lots of rivers, lots of.
你看这个，对，这个实际上面就是以前装货啊，也就是那个。
It's amazing. It's just completely different.
Yeah. 这个是路，对不对？
对，是一条路嘛，这条路嘛。
这个是一条路。
The road.
This is the road. But you'll see, well, as you would have seen from Wuxi now, you've got the Hongda building, Shengli-Men, and you've got the big department stores, you know, which are, I don't know, sort of 20, 30, maybe 40 floors tall. As I hear, these are obviously just two-storey buildings, so very, very small.
Ah. It's actually amazing how much it's changed. I mean, it really shows the strong development just in the last couple of years. Quite dramatic. Yeah. Actually, it's amazing.
Well, if you like, maybe we can walk around and have a look at how much Wuxi has changed, and we can look at some of the more developed areas.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Okay. 好，我们先走，我要带他去看看。
Okay.
Statistics show that there are 9,000 expats now living in Wuxi, and Tim is one of them who has witnessed the day-to-day changes happening in the city. To him, the changes have been simply appealing. Life's much easier with the development of the transportation system, and since Wuxi has been actively connecting to the global market, a variety of brands and products are coming in, providing more and more choices for foreigners living here. Coming up next, we'll check out local people's lives and how the city is transforming itself to meet the new challenges of the century.
So there's a bit of oil on the bottom there. Come in, let me help out. Ooh, fire!
Stay tuned. To see how expats adapt to the local culture, Tim took me to a special party.
So there's a bit of oil on the bottom there. Come in, let me help out. Ooh, fire! All right, okay.
Would you say there's quite a growing social scene going on in Wuxi?
Of course, you know, as the expats increase, more and more people are here for us to make friends with and hang out with. It's just something novel, and for us coming here, you know, it's a bit of Chinese culture that we get to experience.
Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, so everybody, dinner served.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just days before I leave Wuxi, fisherman Mr. Jiang and his wife invited me to visit his home. Now, because the government rehoused a lot of the fishermen, we're now going to take a trip over to Mr. Jiang's house to see how his everyday life has affected him and certainly what it's like today. Hi, ni hao. Ni hao. Good to see you. Hi. Mr. Jiang told me that to help the government manage Tai Lake, they tore down his lakeside house to make space for plants. To compensate for these sacrifices, the government built a brand new community for fishermen like Mr. Jiang. Now Mr. Jiang's family is living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Wuxi.
哦，看看我们家里的照片，这个是大儿子他小儿子小时候辰光拍的，太湖边上拍的。That's cute。哎，这个拿了一个狗，喏，就是老房子呢。哎。我以前的房子呢，在这里。
这个是今年。
这个是今儿刚小时候的那个，
刚刚烧的时候，这个房子刚刚烧，这个是空白。
这个是我孙子搬到那个新房子里来拍的，那个时候只有5岁，他现在9岁了已经。小子。
Although she speaks no English and I speak little Chinese, I can still feel the happiness and satisfaction coming from the bottom of her heart. Each old photograph tells a story of how their lives have changed. To them, their livelihood depends on Tai Lake. It is also Tai Lake that promises them a better future. I fell in love with the city instantly, but I know it might take a while longer before I fully understand its unique attractiveness. To me, Wuxi is an appealing city granted with the gift of nature. It is also a dynamic city embracing the ever-changing challenges of the modern world. Maybe this is the result of the Wuxi people's optimistic and open-minded thinking. The belief that tomorrow can only be better inspires their effort to make an even brighter future.
没有高铁这件很浪漫的事情是完成不了的。
高铁从来没有是2个城市的感觉。
我周围有很多朋友都跟我开玩笑说，这个高铁是为我开的。
用高铁成为一种时尚了。
这么你杭州到上海40几分钟就能到达，简直不可想象。
The seemingly impossible has become possible.